Hello beautiful people, welcome back. In this video, I'm gonna show you top 25 noob to pro tips and tricks, which will really help you a lot in improving your gameplay. Because there are still a lot of newbies joining into this game every single day, and they don't know shit about this game. So I decided to make a proper video for them too, and it doesn't matter if you are pro or ultra legend pro max, you must watch these tips as it is my job to teach you all like a physics teacher. Anyways, let's get started. Tip number 1, parachute right. The first couple of seconds of the game are really important. Where you land gives you a huge leg up. If you're a beginner, stay away from high traffic areas. Anytime you see a big cluster of buildings, it's best not to land there. Instead, go a bit farther and land in a smaller settlement. You'll still find the essential loot and guns, and it will be easier to fend off other players. Start with places like Gatka and Melta. And if you are a pro, then only take hot drops, no excuses. Tip number 2, early on, avoid the first contact. Once you've landed, one of the first mistakes you can make is to engage in combat early on. If you've just landed and you hear someone else in the area, turn away and run like Naruto in another direction. If you doesn't know who is Naruto, then F in the chat for you. Tip number 3, keep an eye open for other players. When you're exploring a new area, keep an eye open for telltale signs of activity. If you come to a building with doors open and the ammo is gone, someone has probably been there. They could be gone by now, but you shout proceed slowly. And similarly, you should close the doors when you're hiding out in a building or after you've looted. This gives you an advantage and makes surprise kills easier. But do not camp, because camping still sucks in late 2020. Tip number 4, don't discount the shotgun. At first glance, the shotgun might not seem like the best weapon. But for most close-range combat, especially in the beginning, it really is. In the beginning you're mostly raiding areas and chasing other players, this is where the shotgun shines. Tip number 5, keep changing the armor. The armor in PUBG wears down as you engage in combat. So it's best to keep switching it when the armor depletes. Even if you have to switch a higher level armor to a lower level one, it's fine. Because the protection you get is going to be more. So change it like all the girls who change their cloths every hour. Tip number 6, play smart. Don't play hastily. Don't rush into battle. Do it thoughtfully. Take your time. Make sure you have the right weapon selected and then go. Tip number 7, find your weapon of choice and stick with it. When you're playing to win, you'll need dependable tools. After a couple of games, you'll figure out which gun you're most comfortable with. Every game, try to find the gun and once you do, stick with it. Even if it means dropping a more advanced weapon. Tip number 8, get a scope. Once you've got the right gun, chase the right attachment. It's really important to have a nice scope. A 4x scope on your sniper will do wonders. Tip number 9, when in combat, go zigzag. Don't run in a straight line when you're under fire. This is a sure shot way of being killed. Instead, run in a zigzag or haphazard pattern. In simple words, run like a drunkard. It will take longer to get to cover, but the chances of you being dead are much lower. Tip number 10, when you're getting sniped, don't lie down. When someone is sniping at you from a distance, your first instinct is to lie down of the ground. I've made that mistake many times. The sniper has already identified you and they have a good vantage point. If you lie down, all they have to do is lower their aim and shoot. Bam, you're dead. Tip number 11, for stealth mode, play barefoot. Boots make a lot of noise. If you're at the end of the game and you want to play it stealthily, play without boots. Tip number 12, use headphones. First of all, stop using $1 Chio earphones. Because sounds play a big role in PUBG, whether it's voice chat, prompts from the squad or even footsteps. If you're not using a proper headphones, you'll miss out on these cues that will help you discern where exactly the enemy is. Tip number 13, wait for the right moment. There's no point in just shooting continuously. All you're doing there is giving the enemy a chance to shoot you when you're reloading. Instead, wait for the perfect shot and then pull the trigger. Doesn't matter if you're using a shotgun or a sniper. Tip number 14, be mindful of the red zone. When you're playing in a squad, there's always one guy who keeps exploring right till the timer runs out. Don't be that guy. Be mindful of the red zone and instead of running like crazy at the end, be in safe zone with plenty of time to spare. Tip number 15, use the edge of blue circle. The edge of the blue circle is a good place to be. You're in the safe zone, but you can easily target other players rushing in to avoid the storm. Tip number 16, sprint without the weapon. If you're running towards the safe zone or running away from combat, put your weapons away. This will significantly increase your running speed. Tip number 17. Use vehicles wisely. Using a car in the beginning can be really useful. It's a fast way to travel to the safe zone and a great way to quickly run players over. But as you get closer to the inner circle, it will become a burden, as it will make it easier for enemies to spot you. Tip number 18. Switch between modes. You can now switch between first-person and third-person view in PUBG. Before you start the game, tap on the game mode button and switch between first-person perspective and third-person perspective. Tip number 19. Supply drops are not worth the trouble. When you see that balloon drop with all that loot, your first instinct might be to run towards it. Don't. They're rarely worth it. Don't be the first one to the loot, it's a sure shot way to end up dead. Instead, stay around the loot area, see who goes up to get the loot and later, kill them and take the loot from them. Tip number 20. The beauty of PUBG lies with friends. The online gameplay of PUBG can be nice. But the real fun begins when you're playing with friends. Either play with a friend or with a group of friends. But don't play this game with your girlfriends because they are noobs. The best way to do is to sit together with 3 friends and play. Not only does this make for a good time, it also increases your chances of winning. 1 player against 99 others is tough. But a squad of 4, working together, helping and healing each other, increases your chances for the chicken dinner. Tip number 21. When in squad, communicate. If you're not playing with your friends sitting next to you, it can be difficult to communicate. If you're playing with other online players, it can be harder still. When you're in a squad, the first thing you should do is establish clear communication. Enable voice chat if you have to. And make sure that everyone in the squad lands in the same place, shares their loot, helps in combat and heals each other. Tip number 22. Change graphics quality. You can change the graphics performance based on your device. If PUBG is lagging on your older iPhone, reduce the graphics quality. If you've got the latest iPhone XS, take it to the max. The best graphics quality gives you an edge in the game, as it makes it easier to spot other players. Go to Settings Graphics to change the performance. Tip number 23. Use Peek and Fire. Go to Settings Basic and turn on Peek and Fire. This feature lets you peek your head from around the cover. You can take shots without exposing your whole body. But you will end up exposing your head, so just be careful. Tip number 24. Watch the energy bar. Once you've got your basic health full, watch the energy bar. The bar allows you to fully heal, aim better and run faster. Drink an energy drink or painkiller to fill the energy bar. Tip number 25. Patience, grasshopper. We've talked about this above, but I'll just like to reiterate here. Patience is the key and it's the best PUBG tip that I can give you. Take things slowly and breathe a little. Even if you're not a seasoned player, taking things slowly will have a wonderful effect on your game. But this doesn't mean you stay still in one place. So yeah, these were the top 25 tips and tricks to improve your gameplay. My aim is 3, I hope you will do it. So I will see you in the next one, peace out guys.